Hi, welcome to my Live at 5 on this happy Thursday afternoon. I'm trying to remain positive, even though the weather outside is really nasty and cold and wet and ooh. But what I'm going to talk about today is what I've been talking about in my posts all of the week, which is like part one of talking about pain. So this week we're going to talk about physical pain, and next week is going to be about emotional pain. And then depending on the feedback I get, we might go into other areas of physical and mental discomfort and how I can help you. But let's sort of zoom back to when I was in my, teens, 20s, 30s. I had this thing about not taking pain medication because I knew that pain was there for a reason. For instance, if you have back pain, it's because your back is bordering on being injured, maybe, and the pain is saying, don't move. It's bringing awareness to something. Pain from heat, if you put your hand on something hot, or even something cold for that matter. So I always thought that pain was there for a reason, and I very, very, very rarely took pain medication. Fast forward to sort of 2009, when I was working for Royal Mail, which is the English, for those of you overseas, is the English mail service. I was a manager, and at the time was quite convinced that I shouldn't be doing what the workforce were doing. I should be being a manager. But because of staffing cutbacks and all that kind of stuff, I ended up doing a lot of actual physical work that the postman should have been doing because of things like strikes and staffing shortages and finance shortages. And, basically as a manager, I was responsible for making sure that the post went out regardless. So the pain kind of started around about 2009 in my hands mainly. And then it kind of spread up my arms to my elbows. I would occasionally get pain across the back of my shoulders. But once that pain had kind of set in, it spread throughout my body. Now, at that point, I was still kind of fighting it, for want of a better word, fighting that pain, and even avoiding taking painkillers, even though I would sit there at my desk with my eyes shut going, God, this hurts so bad. I would try to hide it all the time. I had some time off work sick. When I came back, I met with the company's, what were they called? Occupational therapists, who made adjustments to my work situation. But those adjustments were impossible to implement because I was going from place to place around the office, like I said, doing the work of postman. But then my batches of sickness and not being able to work got longer and longer. The doctor prescribed sort of low-level pain meds like paracetamol and ibuprofen. The trouble with ibuprofen is as soon as I take ibuprofen, it comes straight back up again. So the inflammatory part of my therapy, as far as the doctor was concerned, never happened. But then something quite amazing happened. I was offered a redundancy package from Royal Mail. That was late in 2011, yeah, and it was quite a decent amount of money. They were talking about it as if, like if I did, it was weird because they kind of said to me, if you don't take the redundancy package, we'll have to sack you because of your levels of sickness. Yeah, so I took their money, basically. It was quite a good amount, and I was quite surprised at the amount that it was, given that I'd only worked for that company for a little over 2 years. And my husband and I immediately set about spending it. Creating a home for us two and the kids. Now, this redundancy was 9 months before my husband passed away. And even though I was in a lot of pain during that time and going backwards and forwards into hospital and whatnot to try and figure out why I was in so much pain, I will be forever grateful for those 9 months together. Because when it came round to March of 2012, He passed away suddenly, and I was still in the middle of tests. I had no diagnosis. I had no clue what was going on with my body. But after what seemed like endless investigations and procedures, and there was one day where they called it nerve conduction study. Yeah, that basically means they sit you in a chair and they electrocute various parts of your body to time how long it takes for like an electric shock that goes in at the top of your arm to reach your finger, or an electric shock that goes in at your hip to reach your foot, and all this kind of stuff. And then I did it from knee to foot, and then calf to foot, and then ankle to foot. And then, anyway, I was electrocuted for a whole flipping day. It was horrible, absolutely flipping horrible. But in November of 2012, they finally gave me, this is the neurologist, finally gave me a diagnosis of fibromyalgia and ME. But the three main issues that I was dealing with was physical pain with no apparent cause, physical and mental exhaustion, and a kind of suffocating brain fog that had come on really quite suddenly, probably when my husband died, and I couldn't quite shake it. Just as a for instance, the gap between the day that he died and the funeral, I did lots of stuff, lots of paperwork, lots of planning, lots of sorting out the funeral. I had a lot of help with it, granted, but I don't remember a thing, because this blanket of fog is the best way I could describe it. But after he died, I've told you before how I started to deal with my own issues, including binge eating, and the coaching that I got there from the lovely Brittany set me on a path to become a coach myself. And the tools and the techniques that I've learned in the various certifications that I've taken, see this lot, have helped me beyond measure. I now have a deep understanding of my physical pain as a signal. That physical pain is literally my body talking to me. You can call it fibromyalgia if you like, but I choose to listen to that pain in a very personal and individual way. And yes, I do, by the way, yes, I do take medications to support me, some of which are pain medications. But I have moved from confusion and distress, not understanding it at all. When I say it, I mean my body. Yeah, because at the time I didn't realize that my body could be my best friend. I do now. So I moved from that, like I said, confusion, distress, what the beep is going on, that place of tension, of almost panic, you can imagine it, to this deep understanding of my body, not just it as in a body, but my body. I mean, I learned amazing things in these certifications. Things like, this is something that I repeat quite often, the communication up and down the spinal cord. Yeah. Only 20% of that communication goes from your brain to your body. All of the signals that allow me to do these things with my hands. Yeah. All of this motor function, all of the signals to breathe, the signals for my heart to beat, all of those kind of things, even blinking, breathing, wiggling my toes, which I'm doing, but you can't see, obviously, I'm wiggling my toes, and the kind of absent-minded fiddling that I do when I'm talking on these lives. Today's fiddle object is a little bulldog clip that I kind of flick open like this. And anyway, back to the point. The point is, the communication from your brain to your body accounts for 20% of what's moving around in your nervous system. And the other 80% is your body signaling to your brain. So when my hands move, I can feel not only the air passing my hands, but the air across my face as my hands move. And all of those signals go back to my brain to give a really quite detailed overview of my situation in this world, in this moment, in this body. Yeah. And if I concentrate, I can feel the fabric of my trousers on my legs. I could definitely feel the fabric of my shirt across the back of my shoulders. I can feel a little bit of my hair just touching my brow there. Yeah. So all of those things are constantly up to my brain, and it's only when you actually stop and pause that you can feel all these tiny little things. So the next thing I'd like to do is tell you a little story about how that newfound connection to my body helped me, of all things. This is so going to make you laugh. Right. Those of you watching on the replay, pop how much this is funny in the comments. And of course, those who are here live, by all means, pop it in the comments. But the thing that I used my body to help me do was, are you ready? It's so funny. Choose my tiles for my bathroom. Yeah, I know. Really, really funny thing to have your body help you do. But I'll tell you the story, roughly how it went. I mean, the numbers of tiles are not going to be precise, but they're going to be roughly like it. So anyway, my plumber says, go to this website, choose your bathroom tiles. I'll go pick them up, right? So I sit down in front of this website and I type in bathroom tiles. Does anybody want to guess? It's like, yeah, muscle testing. Sorry, I missed that comment when we were talking about the nerve conductivity. But yes, would you like to guess how many tiles came up on this one website when I put in the words bathroom tiles? I'll just keep you hanging on for a minute to see if anybody wants to guess. Yeah. The answer is approximately 48,000 different sorts of tiles. Seriously, on this one website. And this website is actually called Tops Tiles. They specialize in tiling, but that's all kinds of products, obviously, not just tiles. So to the search of bathroom tiles, 48,000. And I didn't even look because I thought I can't possibly wade through that many. So I knew that I wanted the tiles to be a soft grey colour. So I selected grey, and that reduced the search results to around about 15,000. That's 15,000. Still too many to look at. Still too many to look at. I mean, talking about overwhelmed. Yeah. So I thought, okay, how can I reduce this list? Right. Well, I know I want big tiles. You know, I wanted big tiles, like those ones that are like A4 size, but a little bit taller. And I wanted to like set them brick fashion on the wall like that. I knew I wanted these big tiles. So I selected the tile size, and that reduced the search down to less than 1,000. I think it was about 800-ish. Still too many to look at, obviously. So I called up the stairs to the plumber and said, how can I reduce this list? And he goes, well, okay, how about, you know, do you want textured or matte or glossy? And I thought for a minute, no, don't want glossy tiles. I want this to be a nice, soft, you know, warm space. So I selected a matte finish, and that brought it down to about 50-ish, 45, 50, which is almost enough to look through. So I sort of set them up in price order. And the first one that came up on the list was so ridiculously expensive that, well, I almost cried because it was gorgeous, but far too expensive. I mean, far too expensive. So I set a limit per square meter, and that brought the list down to 12, which is much more manageable. So manageable, in fact, that when I selected to show me 20 at a time, all 12 were on the page together. And I literally went through them one at a time, looked at them, and allowed my body to join in with me to say yes or no to a tile when I looked at it. Just that visual feedback from the screen. And I'll explain how to do that. That's in today's workshop exercise. So I've got these 12 on the screen. I look at one, I go, no, no, yes, no, no, no. Anyway, got it down to two tiles. And weirdly, one of them was really expensive, but was on offer. And the other one was a reasonably priced tile. So I called the plumber again, gave him the details of the two because I couldn't decide between them. And I asked him if he would go and get a sample of each of these two tiles. So the final decision was literally, and my plumber thought that I was somewhere in between bonkers and start raving mad. But I literally got him to hold out the 2 tiles. I closed my eyes, put my fingers on them, moved around and felt the texture of the surface and went, that one. Yeah, seriously. So the exercise is one that I was taught while doing all of, I think it was this certification, or it might have been that one. Anyway, it's called a visceral yes and no exercise. And to do it, you're probably not going to be able to do it along with me. But if you're watching the recording, get yourself a pen and a big sheet of paper, because the first step to doing this is to logically create questions that you know the answer to. And for those of you with sensitive stomachs or sensitive feelings, you know, the snowflakes out there, this next few things is going to be a little bit difficult for you. So take a deep breath, settle yourself down, because to find these yes and no questions, you need to think of something that is undisputable. My no question, whenever I want to, oh, there it goes. See, I already get the no signal just as my mind starts to think about the question. And the question I use to tune into my body saying no is today the right day to put my dog buddy to sleep? And it's like my innards all just go, and it's like a scrunching up piece of paper, but it's all of my innards, and it kind of starts from my belly button and goes up to kind of chest height. It's that big chunk, and it's literally like a feeling of it all screwing up and compressing, and yeah, because that to me is an absolute no question. Today is not the day. When you're looking at yes and no questions, try to avoid things like, my father's name is David. Yeah, because it may say David on the birth certificate, but his friends might call him Dave or DD or Big Man. You call him Daddy. Yeah, all of those different names. So your body is going to know that that kind of name is neither a yes or a no. So you need to try and find questions that for you are an absolute yes and an absolute no. Trying to think of a yes question. Oh, I've gone completely blank. Gone completely blank for a yes question. How's that? How about something like, I'm holding my own hand? Yeah, and you can feel that. So your body can help you feel that that's a yes question. But it could equally be something or somebody you love. The thing with the love questions, though, actually, just so you know, is sometimes your body will confuse I am in love with this person, or I love my child. Yeah, will give you a sensation, but that sensation may not be yes. That sensation may be the sensation that your body uses to communicate love to you. Yeah. There's a plant behind me. Yes, there is a plant behind me. That could be a yes question. But in my particular circumstance, my body knows that this one is fake and this one is real. So yeah, it's got to be an absolute yes, no question, so that you know what your body signals are giving you. And once you've got these questions, you know, take your time, find a few that are no's and a few that are yeses. You know, is this top purple? Yes. Is this ring made of silver? Yeah. This one here. Those are kind of good absolute yes questions. So once you've got some no questions and some yes questions, I'm going to invite you to get yourself really comfortable so that your feet are flat on the floor, your body is supported, and my chair finishes mid-back because of my spinal issues, but that's me, yeah. Get yourself supported and still. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let that breath take your awareness down into your body. if it helps you to put your awareness inside your body by imagining a small version of yourself sitting cross-legged in your belly. One of the little pictures I give people sometimes. Get your awareness out of your head into your body. You can place your hands on your heart or on your belly or on your thighs, maybe even tap your thighs to get your awareness grounded in your body. Once you are grounded and connected in that way, you're going to find it a lot easier to feel your own body's wisdom, which is what I employ an awful lot when I have what are sometimes quite ridiculous spasms of pain for no apparent reason. So this is the kind of connectivity I'm talking about. And practice your yes questions and your no questions. Obviously, open your eyes between, maybe write notes about what you feel and where you feel it. I've described my no feeling as a feeling of like screwing up paper inside my insides. And my yes feeling is very much in my upper chest, in my heart area. And it feels expansive, like a sudden kind of feeling. Yeah. And there go the, chills up and down my arms. I always get those. So practice until you feel very, very clear on your body's expression of yes and no. Yeah. Experiment with that. Once you're clear, once you've figured out what is, definitely a yes by using lots of different questions that have a yes answer, and what is definitely your body's expression of no by having lots of different questions and you're getting the same signal for each one, then you're going to really be able to tap into your body and use your body in a way that can only be described as wandering around with your best friend. Do I want coffee right now? No. My body says no. Do I want water right now? Expansion. Yes. So, excuse me. So you can ask your body questions about food, about drink, about where you want to go, whether or not to buy this coat or that coat, whatever you're doing. You've literally got a second opinion with you all the time. You're never, ever, ever going to be alone again. You're never going to have to make a decision on your own again. And keep practicing it. Even when there's no need for a second opinion, ask anyway. It can become quite good fun. And, and as I've explained to you, I've chosen the tiles in my bathroom along with my body. I live here alone. So having my body to help me with these questions is really helpful, really reassuring. Right, we've got a comment. That would stop our bad habits, I believe. I'm not quite sure what you mean, Natisha. Would you like to come off mute so that I can answer that question?
I just meant like if we're listening to what our body is saying throughout the day, like for example, how you asked like if you wanted coffee or water and it directed you towards water, it does tend to stop our bad habits. Like sometimes we're overeating or binge eating or, we're addicted to something and we're kind of
absolutely.
unhealthy.
It can be very supportive for those patterned behaviors. I think I have already done a workshop on patterned behaviors, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to write it down because that is a really good idea for a workshop. Thank you very much. And yes, listening to your body, especially when it concerns your body's needs, is absolutely helpful. So to bring this workshop to a close, I've just got a couple of quotes, a couple of things to kind of This sounds awful, really, doesn't it? But there's a couple of things to plant in your mind. So those of you who are watching the recording, get yourself comfortable, let your eyes fall closed, just breathe steadily. And I'd like you and your body just to listen for a minute. Just listen to the sound of my voice. Because you, your awareness, your existence is not just your body. And you are not trapped in your mind. You can share your existence with your body as a friend, as almost a separate identity that you are attached to. You are a spiritual being having a human experience in this body. And when it comes to pain, physical pain, this pain is your brain's opinion of the sensations that your body is communicating. Let me say that again. Pain is your brain's opinion of the sensations your body is communicating. So let's all take a deep breath in together, in through the nose, out through the mouth. I think I need another one. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Let's go one more. In and out. So if you'd like to learn more about how to connect with your body and how your body can be your best friend, not just in yes and no's, but in every aspect of your life. If you're watching the recording, you can comment below. If you are here live, there's only one of you here live. If you're here live and you want to know more, drop me a message. I keep up with all of my messages, apart from those that are from people, I have to say this, apart from those from people who are not actually my friend, because that goes into that message requests thing and I keep forgetting to check it. Anyway, so if you're interested in learning more about somatics, connecting to your body and having your body help you rather than fight against you, just let me know. Next week, in my post, we're going to be talking about emotional pain, and we're going to do another little workshop like this, but focusing on emotional pain. I'm going to be creating the event straight after this event. So you can, if you say that you're going to that event, then it gives you a reminder, I think. But anyway, very nice to spend some time with you this evening, and I shall stop recording now. Okay, the one person who's attending live has got a question, and she's agreed to the question being recorded as part of this workshop. So fire away, Mo.
Okay, so you know how you said that we should listen to our body, and
Yeah.
it seems like to me that certain, like every kind of pain we experience is our body telling us something. But one thing I've been having trouble with, and I haven't been able to interpret it, like where is it coming from, is like when I sleep and right after sleep I wake up, I feel like I'm getting so much pain in my legs and my feet, like it's swelling and pain, and I'm barely able to walk. So uh, any idea like how I can interpret that? Like what's my body trying to say to me? Because it's like an unconscious state, right? Like,
Yeah. What my intuition is saying is that you're waking up before your body's ready.
yeah.
When you first wake up, are you waking up to an alarm?
Yeah,
Yeah.
usually.
Yeah, like I said, my intuition is saying you need more sleep, love, go to bed earlier. Yeah,
Okay.
because when you're waking up suddenly, if it's your legs that are heavy and the rest of your body feels okay, it's likely that your body is too far in a deep sleep cycle. The alarm's gone off, so your brain has woken up. Yeah,
Yeah.
Your brain is ready to either, fight the alarm or throw it across the room or whatever you want to do with your alarm clock, but your legs are just not
Yeah.
ready. That's what my intuition is telling me.
Okay.
I can give you a couple of ideas other than more sleep. One of the things that I was taught how to do, which is quite good if you need to get up, is hear the alarm, do not snooze it. Yeah, turn it off and count down. Go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then sit up. That helps your body recognize that it's time to wake up. Of course, with everything physical, usually my first response is to check with your doctor, especially if you have that physical presentation of actual swelling, if your skin feels tight or if it looks shiny. Maybe check in with your doctor, because there may be something more physical than just your body providing you with sensations.
Okay. Yeah.
And yeah, good luck with that. And but like I said, my intuition is telling me that you're not getting enough sleep.
It's true, I think.
You have a young daughter, don't you? Is it a daughter? Yeah. One of the most amazing pieces of advice I was given when I became a stepmom was sleep when your kids are sleeping.
Yeah, it's true.
So I sort of got into this weird habit of literally getting the kids to bed and then going to bed myself, so that, there's those jobs that mums have to do, like pack lunches and getting uniform ready and all that kind of stuff. I used to wake up earlier, so I was up for an hour before they were up, doing things like pack lunches, getting it all ready out in the kitchen, making sure that, because I had a little timetable on the wall telling me which day they needed PE kit and which days they needed art supplies and all this sort of stuff. So I would do all of that in the morning when I got up, rather than them going to bed and then me falling down in front of the TV, watching a load of television just to kind of numb out, and then have to force myself to go to bed in the early hours of the morning, not get enough sleep, then be woken up by them knocking on the door, and my husband and I getting up and rushing around like headless chickens trying to get them ready for school. So yeah, that's sleep when your child sleeps. I mean, I guess it's great for like newborn babies and mums who are awake all the time. But if you need permission from somebody to go to bed early, yeah, I give you permission to go to bed straight after your kid does. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for letting me record that question. I shall stop the recording for a second time now.